Finnemore. I'm in Section A for Fashion Illustration and Design, and today I'll be going over my sportswear project for Spring 21. And for this project, we took silhouettes from past fashion, or not necessarily past, but silhouettes that we're intrigued by, and used them as templates to design based off of our shoe. I personally wasn't a fan of that process, but after kind of seeing the process and as the weeks went by, I kind of understood why we had to go through that process. So, with the silhouettes, I'm gonna start with the silhouettes. So, when it came to the silhouettes, I chose from designers that I've been a fan of or have kind of motivated me to do fashion. And to start out, I used a jacket from Yeezy's Season 8 collection, which actually was a vest, but I had morphed the vest and one of the puffer jackets he had together to kind of mix the silhouettes because that's kind of what I wanted to do. They were telling me I couldn't do a vest, so I tried to mix them both. And then my second silhouette came from Raf Simons' Fall Winter 21 collection, which is one of my favorite collections from him. You can kind of see the reminiscence of his kind of past two seasons at Prada and him bringing it into the Raf Simons. So I really enjoyed that. You can kind of see him taking the influence he's getting there right now and bringing it to Raf. And it's always nice to see that from him when he's not kind of doing the same kind of tailored silhouettes. He kind of blew everything out of proportion. And then my last silhouette came from Alik's collab with Montclair, and this was a great collab. I chose this jacket because I kind of wanted to choose something that was a bit slimmer um, compared to everything else. It's kind of oversized, maybe cropped, but it still kind of has a tailored vibe to it, and I enjoy that. As far as my shoe, I chose the Vetmont's Reebok collab, and specifically the genetically modified pump. This released in September 4th, 2018, exclusive to Matches Fashion. And I chose this shoe because I honestly have wanted it for years. I've been a Vetmont fan since the beginning. It kind of pushed me to get into fashion, like to actually make clothes, just because there's such a do-it-yourself, work-in-progress vibe to the brand and a utilitarian vibe to the brand, and it really speaks to itself in this shoe. And yeah, I've kind of always wanted it. So literally, once we got introduced to this project, I was like, yeah, I'm either gonna do this shoe or a Kiko Kostanov collab because I also enjoy his design process. So that's kind of where my head was at when thinking about my shoe. And so for this whole project, we have to design a ripstop, a fleece, and a novelty jacket, and then connect bottoms with it as well. And I chose to do menswear, so my my bottoms aren't necessarily spandex or lycra or like leggings material. I kind of chose a mix between nylon, fleece, and novelty. And then when it came to some of the early process of designing pockets and stuff like that and picking our swatches, I chose to use some of the pocket designs I had from the Workwear project. And first, I didn't use the exact pocket, but I kind of kept the same like hidden vibe of it, where from the outside it's really just a zipper, and then inside there's more components to it. And then I used my kangaroo style pocket. I kind of just added to it, and then I didn't actually use my slanted pocket, but I just enjoy the CAD that I made for it. So yeah, let's get into some of the early silhouette process. So we had to make boards per silhouette to kind of direct us in a way of, what type of collar, what type of paneling, what type of, details. And I'm very utilitarian in the way I design, and I kind of wanted to keep that kind of direction just because I didn't want to I didn't want it to go too far out of what I would actually want, because at the end of the day, um, it's about what I want to design. So this is kind of where I came to with that. So I pulled some Helmut Lang, I pulled some post archive faction, I pulled some acronym, I pulled some more leaks. I also enjoy how I pulled from the the tape binding. I'm sorry, I just got stuck on that. And then for the second silhouette, we'll go back to the jackets. So here's kind of some of the final um, jackets that I had done. I ended up going with this one right here, but just this whole process of just sketching it and kind of coming to conclusions of what I could take from this and bring it to an actual jacket. And then for the second silhouette, I kind of tried to keep it more curvy and not so linear, and then have a lot of like hidden zippers instead of exposed pockets. So, and bias binding. So for this jacket, you can see this one's a lot more reminiscent of my shoe, just because of the curves coming out. And I did pull this directly from the shoe, from the exercise they made us do. And then for my second jacket, this is actually the one I went with. I feel like this is more something realistic, something like this is like, I get it, follow the shoe design, but I feel like this is more realistic to what I would want to make. And then for the third kind of silhouette, I was really interested in how Stone Island did this double zip on this puffer jacket, and this was a jacket I had pulled for my workwear project. A lot of these were stuff I pulled for the workwear project, and it kind of inspired me to put it into the way I did my puffer. So yeah, let's see which one I chose. I ended up choosing this one. I kind of expanded on it a bit just because this was it was a little too basic. There wasn't enough of my shoe in it, so you'll see in my CADs how I developed it. So after going through this design process, Eduardo and Tony chose these 3 jackets, which I was okay with because I enjoyed doing them. And when it came to bottoms, this is some of the inspiration I pulled. I got some acronym in here, got some Yang Lee in here, got some Rick Owens in here, got some Balenciaga, got some Y3, got some Y Project. And then for the tops, got a mix from everything. You got some Rick, got some Y Project, Balenciaga, Raf, some other names. There's some Y3, but I really only ended up going with these silhouettes over here. So this was kind of like the final outfit plan prior to drawing out most of the outfits. And yeah, so this is kind of where my head was at. Now getting into kind of where I'm going right now. So this is kind of where I'm at with the project. I still have a few illustrations to get done and one more CAD to finish, but still a work in progress. So like I said, Intro to Design 2021 Active Influence Sportswear. This is my project. And yeah, we went over all this already. So here we get to go into kind of what I'm thinking about when it comes to design and how I put it on the figure. So for my silhouette of the Balenciaga tee, this is kind of where I was able to build like my CADs for all of my sketches, and I feel like that's where I'm most trying to expand myself at, is building CADs and building like a language for my actual design process. And yeah, I'm kind of hyped on the way I was able to get some of these CADs done. So with this pant, you can tell I got the slanted pocket, extruded slanted pocket with the inseam on the side. You got the strap, adjustable waistband. Still gotta have a flap for you to hit the bathroom. And then we got the back zip pants, one-way zipper, just to have some space in the back. And then this is supposed to be a reminiscence to the sealed tape. And then we kind of have everything laid out for the jacket fabric, t-shirt fabric, and the bottoms fabric. I'm still in the process of laying all that out for my other pages, but I have all my CADs finished. So here's my Rick Owens CAD, here's my bottoms CAD for this outfit, and here's the rendering right here. some light. Here's the flat. I'm really excited about this flat. I'm just excited about doing it digitally. I'm not really a fan of hand drawing. I'm not the best at hand drawing, but I enjoy being able to do it via digital. So there's some of that. And then here's like kind of the final version of that jacket that I was showing at the beginning. We went from kind of keeping everything to straight lines, hitting the corners, and Tony kind of was telling me, you don't want your car to hit a brick wall. You want it to kind of swerve off. So I kind of tried to build off what he was pressing me about, and kind of did it off the fly, and I was kind of satisfied with it. So I decided to expand off the basic silhouettes that I had before and kind of reminiscent more towards my shoe. So here's an kind of example of that. And then here's my CAD. Here's my t-shirt CAD. Still need to put the graphics on them. And then here's another trouser I did. This one I'm really hyped on. I feel like this is a pair of pants I want to make outside of this, And that's kind of the whole point. I don't want to do a project that I'm like, oh, like this is worth portfolio, I don't want to do something that's not necessarily for school, because I don't know, it just doesn't feel the same. And then here's kind of overview of all my looks. I still need to render my nylon outfit and my t-shirt exposed look. And the cool thing about my nylon jacket is I wanted to have an internal kind of body strap to where if you're not feeling like wearing it, you want to take it off, you can just kind of connect the strap over your chest and the jacket will just drape on the back of you, which I feel like really helps the silhouette of the individual. And that's something I'm also really focused on, is just silhouette. And I don't know if you can really tell that through here, but that's kind of where I'm going, is kind of the way everything drapes on the body and kind of brings that level of masculinity to the person. And then I'm still developing this page, but here's some pocket details, sample swipes, and we get into just structural stitches and paneling. You got the sealed tape right here with the pocket right here, or pocket flap, pocket seam right there. And then here's the pocket I had done off of one of my earlier pockets. So based off of this pocket, I ended up going with something like this for that for my novelty jacket. And the only real difference with this pocket is that it has a side pocket as well for you to kind of have both hands in the jacket without having to only have this main zipper pocket for comfort. And then when we get into fabric and everything like that, this is my I'm sorry if I'm moving too fast, but this is my kind of board for that. And I kind of broke it down by jacket, bottom and top, and then trim. And I actually enjoyed this part of the project. It really helped me it just helped me see how I could do this in my own way, and how I can kind of use what we learned in this project for personal projects. So when organizing my own kind of concepts, I can build from this board pretty much. Like if I have a CAD here, I could build out the textile with the trim, so I know exactly what I'm looking for in the process. And that's one thing I feel like I learned in this project that I can use outside of this. And I also feel like CADs as well. CADs is something that I hadn't done much of before this semester. Well, I had, but not to this level. And I appreciate the level of intensity that Tony and Eduardo give us in these projects, because it just kind of pushes us to go harder. So I appreciate that. And yeah, this is my project as of right now. And we're just on our way to finishing it and get this semester off and just get the summer going, So thank you so much for checking out my project, and I hope everyone has a great summer. Thank you.